Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Really, really sorry. I was using the Sunday bridge to join, so that's the reason I was in a different meeting, and due to which you saw those messages. So, my mistake.
It's no
Hare
problem.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, let me quickly offer prayers that gives the strength to have the session proper. ॐ ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कथा मह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलान् श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सागणरघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललित श्रीविशाख अन्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने घोरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय हरे कृष्ण प्लीज लेट मी नो इफ यू कैन सी माय स्क्रीन
Ji Prabhuji.
ओके um Okay. Can you also see the Damodarashtakam text?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can see that.
Okay. So, yeah, this is still an auspicious month of the year, which is Kartik, in which we are doing our prayers. And if we sincerely desire to get closer to Krishna more and more, as much as possible, to whatever extent we can, this Damodarashtakam, reciting that every day and offering ghee lamp is one of the recommended devotional processes or devotional service one can perform in this month. Of course, in few days, this Damodar Ashtakam prayers, we may stop because the Kartik month is coming to an end, and again we get busy in our day-to-day life. But we can definitely take the spirit and the message and the mood of Satyavata Muni, who offered these prayers wholeheartedly to the Lord, and in that way we can take spirit of how to offer our prayers. In the past sessions, not as a series of this Damodar month or Kartik month, we were discussing about the power of prayers. The power of prayers is so powerful that we can't even imagine. We don't have the power to estimate the power of the prayers. But definitely we can accept that through the prayers, so many great devotees have achieved success. And with the power of prayers, we, wherever we are feeling very struck ourselves, challenged because of our own conditioning of our surrounding circumstances or whatever, all these can be just simply broken. And that is what we also take the message from this. And I was thinking today, Of course, we can still dwell a lot in the leelas of this pastime, uh, and more secrets we can um, mm, collect from the Acharya's commentaries. Today, I was thinking with the basis of Damodarashtakam to enhance our understanding and deepen our faith. And even after Kartik month, we remember this Leela so that this gives us the strength. Is everyone ready? And this session, I was thinking we could have a kind of little interactive where one can read the verse and then the translation. Who would like to be? Please raise your hand. I don't know if I am seeing everyone. There is Ratikeli Mataji. Yes. Yeah, we'll start with you. The first verse.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. I don't know if I've recorded this. Okay, please go on.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I will say the first and then Mataji will say the second.
Okay, you read the first and she will read the translation.
Translation, yeah. Namamishwaram Satchidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajmanam Yashodhabhiyolukhalabdavamanam Paramrushyamatyantato Drutagopya. Translation.
To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed to that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So we will discuss about this with the reference of this book. Yeah, last week which I was shown Damodar by Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, where he has collected what is so valuable for us. If we read this book in the Kartik, so we know everything what we need to follow the Kartik Vrat, and also to understand what in the first verse. Here we see the explanation or the commentary given by Srila Sanatan Goswami. It goes like this: offering my respectful obeisances to Sri Sri Radha Damodar. This is what Satyavrata Muni is saying. I will now comment on the Damodarashtaka. In the beginning of this prayer, the author offers his respectful obeisances as with devotion he describes the great treasure that is the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which was manifested in Gokul and which is glorious with the most excellent handsomeness, pastimes, virtues, and other qualities. So here Satyavata Muni, Sanatan Goswami is bringing a very important point, the glories of the Muni. Why? Because he's starting with the prayers. He's offering the prayer. It's not um, um, it's not an etiquette to just dwell into the details without offering prayers and seeking the blessings and hence the power. Um, Otherwise, we see that such a great exalted personalities here we see yogis are also doing this, which means to access the power. Uh, this is the right approach that we take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, seek His blessings in whatever service we are performing. Here, Satyavata Muni, in this, we see this. And then here he says, what is the Supreme Personality of Godhead like? He is Ishvara. That is what we see. Namam Ishwaram. So, this I am offering, Namami, I offer my respectful obeisances, Ishwaram, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is his form? Yeah, Sachit Ananda Rupam. Yeah, and Srila Sanatan Goswami, he master. His form is handsome and attractive. How much? The reference here we see that the gopis describe his handsomeness in these words of Srimad Bhagavatam. The 10th canto, 29th chapter, verse 40. Trailokya saubhagam idam cha niriksha rupam yad go dvija druma murga pulakani abhibhran. O Krishna, even the cows, birds, trees, and deer become stunned in ecstasy when they gaze at your face, at your form, the most handsome in all the three worlds. And Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, second chapter, 12 verse again explains, uh, Vismapanam swasya cha saubhagar saubhagardhe param padam bhushanam bhushanangam. The Lord appears in this mortal world by his internal potency Yoga Maya. He came in his eternal form, which is just suitable for his pastimes. These pastimes were wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself as a Lord of Vaikuntha. Thus, his Sri Krishna's transcendental form is the ornament of all ornaments. Lord Krishna's attractive form, all attractive form, was splendidly manifest in Gokul, where many cows, gopas, and gopis lived. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:32-14 explains, Shakasa Gopi Parishad Gato Richitas Trailokya Lakshmi Ekapadam Vapur Dadat. It says, worshipped by the gopis, Lord Krishna's transcendental form, the only home of all glory and handsomeness in three worlds, was splendidly manifest. The specific pastime described in this verse of Damodarashtakam, where Lord Krishna broke the yogurt pot and fled hmm, in fear of Mother Yashoda, is described these words of Srimad Bhagavatam 10:9, 8:9. We are in the 10:9. 8 and 9. So here we see this is the verse. hmm, Uluk, yeah, the motor. Here it says Krishna at that time was sitting on an upside down wooden motor for his yogurt and butter to the monkeys as he liked. Because of having stolen his medicine, he was looking all around with great anxiety, suspecting that he might be chastised by his mother. Mother Yashoda, upon seeing him, very cautiously approached him from behind. Hmm. Huh? And here we see this. Yeah, she saw that Krishna was stealing, and thus she smiled. Meanwhile, the crows also entered the room and came out in fear. Hmm. Thus, Mother Yashoda found Krishna stealing butter and very anxiously looking here and there. So, because of having stolen, he was looking all around with great anxiety. Hmm. That's what, suspecting that he might be chastised by his mother. And then there is further verse. The next one is Tam Atta Yastim prasam prasamiksha prasamiksha satvaras tato avaras varu yapa sa sa sasara bhitavat. Yeah, let me go to the English better. When Lord Sri Krishna saw his mother stick in his hand, he was very quickly got down from the top of the motor and began to flee as if very much afraid. Although yogis try to capture him as Paramatma by meditation, desiring to enter into the effulgence of the Lord with great austerities and penances, they fail to reach him. But Mother Yashoda, thinking that same personality of Godhead, Krishna, to be her son, began following Krishna to catch him. So, and in the purport, yeah, there is explanation that this um, everyone wants to capture Krishna. Um, one is want to capture in way of through meditation, austerities, penances. Yeah, but here we see in Vrindavan it's different. But for pure devotees like Mother Yashoda, Krishna is already caught. So um, there is this reference where it says that in the Gadyatrayam, right? We see that um, the Lord is offering prayers to the to Mother Lakshmi. He is saying that uh, through you I approach the Lord. Yeah. Why? Because if I call, he may not come, but if you call, he will definitely come. Yeah. So that is the power of pure devotees. That is the power of pure devotees, and it says that we should we should do something that Lord is seeing us. We always try. We want to see the Lord. We want to see the Lord. For that, it's not so easy. Lord is not so easy to be seen, to be captured, to be caught, and all. But the only way is by performing devotional service, because the Lord Himself want to be in the presence of devotees. In that way, that Lord can be um, caught. Hmm? And this is what mentioned by Queen Kunti in her prayers. Bhaya bhavanaya stitasya. Krishna is afraid of Mother Yashoda and yogis are afraid of Krishna. So who is superior? Devotee. Yogis try to reach Krishna by Jnana Yoga and other yogas but fail. Yet although Mother Yashoda was a woman, hmm, and there is also description of Mother Yashoda later in this verses, Krishna was afraid of her as clearly described in this verse. So in that way, and then Mother Yashoda has chased Krishna and caught him from behind. After, uh, so this is what we know that the position of the Supreme Lord, and we know about Mother Yashoda. She is not a girl who can who is slim and sleek and can run and catch hold of Krishna. Uh, she is mother, and here is the description: her thin waist, overburdened by her heavy breast, naturally have to reduce her speed. Had to reduce her speed, but in spite of all this, yeah, we know that yogis, what they do, they go in deep meditation. They first of all do austerities. They they uh, mm, do the yogas, so that they can get this mystic powers through which they can become light, and um, light and can at a speed of mind they can travel. um, but here we see that Mother Yashoda, who is heavy, yeah, and because of following Krishna very swiftly, her hair became loose and the flowers in her hair were falling after her. And yet she did not fail to capture her son, Krishna. And here we see this is very, very important for us. This, this particular, I don't know if, no, the next one is already starting. So from this, there are these two important things. One is that when we are doing anything, we should definitely offer prayers to the Lord, uh, and and get access to the power through which we can render our devotional service. We may have great enthusiasm. That enthusiasm can easily be burst if we do not have the power, because we may feel, we may think, or we may be confident or overconfident, or yeah, believe in ourselves, all these things, and really understand these things have to be done. We can, I can do it, but the sense of I can do it, hmm, huh, which is the enthusiasm in performing service, is definitely to be supported by the power, by the when we are performing our devotional service. We don't just pick up and then begin. Yeah, this is also what we are doing, right? Now this katha can be said even without offering the Mangalacharan, without offering the prayers to the acharyas. What power it will have? Nothing. It is just like, okay, I have some knowledge, I have some information, I have gathered everything from various books and I can present it, but it will not have the power. Hence, we begin with the prayers so that we can be an instrument, so that whatever is there, it's not just the knowledge, but actually the mercy of the Lord, by having this katha, uh, by having this kirtan, by having this hearing, Shravanam, both. Yeah, so which means that when we are sitting in a class, we are also in our mind, we are reciting these Mangalacharans. Oh Lord, please help me that I can hear, I can attentively gain something from the session, from the katha, so that I can apply that in my life and then benefit. For that also we need strength. Even to sit, we need strength. Even to sleep, we need strength. For everything, we need strength. To engage in devotional service without the power of the Lord, without the mercy of the Lord, we cannot be going deeper. Yeah. So, if we want to go deeper, dwelling deeper in this Damodarashtakam, yeah, this is the first thing what we can learn from the Muni's prayer, that we also offer prayers. And the second one is that in spite of Yashoda having these challenges, yeah, we can't stay fasting for long. So difficult. Yashoda was determined. She was determined to. So she even yeah, here in the, am I audible? I mean, I have seen some internet issues. Here, yeah, some feedback. Is the audio fine? Video fine?
Yes, Prabhuji, it was in between. There was some disturbance, but now it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can repeat. Yeah. So here we see that Mother Yashoda, yeah, out of Vatsalyaras, out of the need that she thinks that she should discipline Krishna, otherwise people will talk bad about him. So she did. So in our service also, when we keep Krishna in front, that we want to please Krishna, we don't want to please ourselves. Okay, if I do a service, what will people will think great about me or bad about me? Usually we are in this. Oh, if I do a mistake, what will people think about me? They think that I am incompetent and impotent and not so important for this service. And then what will happen? No, if we really see, Mother Yashoda has no time for thinking all these things. Huh? And what she was doing is she was constantly doing the karma yoga, yeah, right from the morning or even yeah getting up till she goes to bed. What she is all doing is uh, serving Krishna directly or remembering his leelas and singing them while she's churning or while she's cooking. In that way, what she's doing, she has no time to think what I'm doing, What will people will think about it? No. She was engaged herself in the devotional service. Okay. Second, someone would like to read? Let me see. Yeah. Someone want to read can raise hand or I was audible, right? So then
Yes,
I
Prabhuji,
think
we
you are
can
shy.
try.
So
Yeah, Chitra Malini will read the Sanskrit and I will read the translation.
okay.
रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्नं रजन्तं कराम्बोजयुग्मेन शान्तकनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकं पाति एरक्काकण्ठा स्थितग्रीवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम्.
Yes, Prabhuji, if you
Okay.
scroll down.
Translation.
Yes. Seeing the weeping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his lotus hands. His eyes are oh, filled. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Shri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So here we see this. Yeah. We see that Rudamtam Muhu, Rudamtam is crying, Muhu means again and again. Netra Yukmam, 2 eyes. Mrijantam, rubbing. Karambhoja Yugmena, with 2 lotus hands. Sha Atanka, we know Atank in Hindi. Atank means fear. Netram, eyes. Muhu, again and again. Swasa, breathing. Kampa, trembling. Three, three. Rekha, lines. Anka, marked. Kantha, neck. Sthita, situated. Graiva, necklaces. Damodar, Lord Krishna. Bhakti with devotion. Baddham, bound. So, this Damodar, where the Lord himself, his name is attributed by caught, by tied. With what? We see this Dam is the rope, and Baddham. Yeah, that's what he is saying. Who cried and rubbed his frightened eyes again and again with his 2 lotus hands, whose necklace on 3-lined neck trembled as he breathed again and again, whose waist was surrounded by a rope, and who finally bound by love. And from the commentary by Srila Sanatan Goswami, it says, this pastime is described in the following words of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is 10, 9, 11. So this Leela is when caught by Mother Yashoda, Krishna became more and more afraid and admitted to be an offender. As she looked upon him, she saw that he was crying, his tears mixing with black ointment around his eyes, and as he rubbed his eyes with his hands, he smeared the ointment all over his face. Mother Yashoda, catching her beautiful son by the hand, mildly began to chastise him. Hmm? Mother Yashoda then bound him with a rope. This is what is mentioned. So here we see that the prayers in which Satyavrata Muni is mentioning that final Mother Yashoda has tied him. And here, very nice, we see that Krishna is accepting accepting that he is an offender. Uh, Krishna, we know that he is the Supreme Lord. Whatever he does is here he broke the pot, and not only that, he is not covering what he done. He is just admitted he is an offender. And then the next reference Sanatan Goswami is giving is in the um, oh, I don't know what am I doing. Verse number 14, 13 and 14. Okay. So here from this verse, Sanatan Goswami is referring that um, Gopi Gopi ko lulu ke damna babadha prakritam yatha. So here, Mother Yashoda, considering Krishna her own ordinary son, bound him to the wooden motor with a rope. This can make us think, should we be also thinking ourselves very ordinary like a Vrajavasis, and then we can also very casually do all these leelas. We have to be very careful. Because they're dealing Krishna with like that, let me also do like that. Of course, Krishna may not interfere, but it can lead to future obstacles because we think like speaking doesn't mean the parrot is a ghost. Mm. Of course, Sukadeva Goswami parrot is very special. Radharani's parrot is very special. But we are not talking about that. We are talking about those trained parrots which we see that they speak what we speak, they repeat what we talk, but there is um, um, no essence, no value in that. So we shouldn't imitate all these pastimes thinking, okay, now Krishna, Yashoda is born by sorry, Yashoda has tied Krishna. I can take a rope and then I start tying, and then yeah, which means that now I have tied him, so he's under me, under my control. Hmm? Or becoming like Sahajiyas, thinking that okay, like I can also become Yashoda, or I can become Nanda Baba, dress him like that, and then feel him ourselves like that. Or so all these things are not not helpful to get closer to Krishna. They will only become us go more far and far from Krishna because we have not understood what is the key required. What is the key that is required is bhakti baddham. Hmm? Krishna is bound only by bhakti. If we are in our own fantasy, if we are in our own dream world and we think we concoct that this is what is bhakti, that is a different story. But the Lord is checking what is the real, uh, yeah, what is fake, and then based on that, he is bound. And then this is further in Srimad Bhagavatam, it continues that 9:18. So here, uh, Swamatu Svinna Gatraya uh, विस्तरस्य कबरस्रजः दृष्ट्वा परिश्रमं कृष्ण कृपय कृपयासीत् swabandhane. So here we see the secret behind why Krishna is bound. Mm. There is also this parishram. Parishramam means hard labor or work. Yeah, he could understand that she was now overworked and feeling fatigued. And then what that has attracted is Kripaya. By the causeless mercy upon his devotee and mother, uh, agreed to be bound. Because of Mother Yashoda's hard labor. That is the key. We can't sit and then say that some mercy cake will come who will shower his mercy upon us, and then when that mercy is there, then we'll advance. Hmm? We don't want to be snails. We don't want to be snails walking very slowly, and we don't want to be lazy. That food comes on its own, right? When we are hungry, we go where is the food, we eat, and we get strength, we get nourishment, relishment, and everything. In that very enthusiastic we are. Similarly, in service, when we get the ruchi, when we get the taste, then we also are eager to engage in the service to that extent, that we are determined that we will not give up. This is what Mother Yashoda was saying. Today, it doesn't matter if it is one rope, 10 ropes, 100 ropes, all ropes, let me gather. I'll see why Krishna is not bound. Huh? It is not because what people will make fun of him or no. Huh? She is determined that she wanted to tie. It's so nice service. Did Krishna ask for this service to be served, to be tied? Hmm? What do you say? Can someone say, did Krishna say, "Hey, mother, please tie me," and then she is serving to the pleasure of Krishna? No, it was not pleasing Krishna. He had to admit that he is an offender. He had to commit himself that what he has done is a mistake. Huh? Do we want to put people in such uncomfortable position? And here Yashoda is doing it to the Lord. Did Krishna ask her to serve like that? No. But Yashoda, being a mother, what she is doing, she is taking control of the child, considering him ordinary, ordinary boy, and then she is tying. So in that she is in the Vatsalya Bhav, she is serving Krishna with. That's why she is well known in the three worlds, yeah, for her great devotion. That she is not at all leaving anything, nothing pending. She is perfect in her service to Krishna as a mother. And then it says, um, when Mother Yashoda and other ladies finally saw that Krishna, although decorated with many bangles and other jeweled ornaments, could not be bound with all the ropes available in the house, they decided that Krishna was so fortunate that he could not be bound by any material condition. Thus, they gave up the idea of binding him. But in competition between Krishna and his devotee, Krishna sometimes agrees to be defeated. Thus, Krishna's internal energy, Yogamaya, was brought to work, and Krishna agreed to be bound by Mother Yashoda. Hmm? And here, evam sandarshita hi anga harina nritya vasyata swa vasenapi krishnena yasyedam sesh- seshwa- seshwaram vase. Hmm. So, under control, vasa means to get control. Oh, Maharaj Parikshit, this entire universe, with its great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, is under the control of the Supreme Lord. Yet, the Supreme Lord has one transcendental attribute. What is that? Hmm, Not ordinary dealing. One special quality. What is that one special thing? He comes under the control of his devotees. This was now exhibited by Krishna in this pastime. So this is not any concoction, but it is Sukadeva Goswami who is directly telling what was that, why he was bound, and what made Krishna to be bound, and what was speciality of Yashoda. So if we want to capture Krishna, Parishram is definitely required. Swamatu svinna gatraya Vishrita Kavarasraja Drishtva Parishramam Krishna Kripayasit Swabandhane. That is the secret. That is the secret. If we want Krishna consciousness to be really working in our life, if we want to make our life Krishna conscious, that means to absorb in the spirit of serving. We can sit back. Krishna will allow us to do that. There is no pressure. But then we are not giving any pleasure to the Lord. Huh? If we don't want to be in the mood of what is that Shantaras. In the mode of Shantaras, everything is neutral, everything is normal. Uh, but we want to engage ourselves in the other Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, Vatsalyaras. So these are the areas where we devotee is actively capturing, or even to the extent controlling the Lord, because he is to be controlled under the he comes under the control of his devotees. Hmm. And then here it's mentioned already. Sukadev Goswami is saying, great, exalted demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra is under the control of the Supreme Lord. Hmm? But Lord is under the control of great devotee. This is what is proven by this Leela. Hmm? And yeah, so 20. Hmm. And here it says that neither Lord Brahma nor Lord Shiva nor even the goddess of fortune, who is always the better half of the Supreme Lord, can obtain from the Supreme Person of Godhead, the deliverer from this material world, such mercy as received by Mother Yashoda. It is not that the others are not serving, but here the Lord is showing what is the superior position that Mother Yashoda has. Hmm? Nayam Sukapo. Hmm. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service, but he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self. Hmm. So in that way, we understand the position of Mother Yashoda, we understand the position of the devotee. Hmm. And here he says that hmm, that exalted platform of prema is described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Prema Pumarto Mahan, and Mother Yashoda naturally acts in such an exalted position in loving affairs. She is therefore a Nitya Siddha, a devotee, a Nitya Siddha devotee, an expansion of Krishna's Hladini potency. His potency to enjoy transcendental bliss through expansions, who are special devotees. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhis. Such devotees are not sadhana siddhas. Yeah, our position is totally different. Yeah, we are jivas, and our position is that we can we can aspire to become serious in our service and engage in our service, but important for us is sadhana. It is not that, yeah, as I was referring previously, that about the Sahajiyas, where we think that only thing is always talk about Krishna, always remember Krishna, and always do something Krishna. Yeah, this is also bhakti, but what is missing is that sadhana. If we do not have sadhana, if we don't have sadhana, then very easily, yeah, we may just get distracted by what we are getting, some attraction, some following, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Nadanam na janam na sundarim. Uh, to get to that stage, what do we need is sadhana. So we are sadhana bhaktas, where we ourselves take shelter of the regulated processes of no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. As Prabhupada says, don'ts. Yeah, these are the don'ts. And engage ourselves in devotional service of reading Srimad Bhagavatam, visiting holy places, chanting. Yeah, these are the do's. When we bring these two together, then we are serious in our sadhana. And then we become sadhana bhaktas. And then one fine day we can attain, by the mercy of the Lord, by proving ourselves that we are really hard working. that pleases the Lord, that we are not working hard for our own self-realization or for liberation or for other exterior or dubious motivations, but just to serve the Lord so that Lord is pleased. That way we can become successful. Any questions before we go to the next one?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, regarding the current discussion regarding Sahajiyas, so yeah, I agree with you also that sadhana and understanding of philosophy is important. Uh, but on the other hand, how we can judge? Suppose we see someone in a spontaneous love with Krishna, and we see so many devotees in Vrindavan and in India that they are in spontaneous love with Krishna. They are talking with Laddu Gopal, they are weeping, they are dancing, they are laughing, they are doing everything like interacting with Laddu Gopal and their respective god, Krishna form. So they are also getting in dreams that he came, he was dancing with me. So how we can judge that it is a sahaja behavior? Maybe in the past life they were already doing all sadhana bhakti, and now they have come to a next level, prema bhakti or raganuga bhakti. So how we can judge those people now in current birth, that they are sahajiyas, just don't know any philosophy, they are just not good devotees. How we can judge it?
Good question. Yeah. So one approach is usually such exalted devotees. Yeah. So they don't uh, demonstrate it openly, externally. We see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah, forget about all the Sahajiyas. Yeah, we are talking about the Supreme Lord Himself when He took the form of a role of a devotee. Yeah.
Yes,
And he didn't exhibit all these things, and that everyone makes a note of it. So it's not the external presentations, but the genuine attraction that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had, yeah, was very, very clear. Can we really have such a bhav that are you somewhere outside your?
yes, Prabhuji, I'm sitting in the garden. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so yeah, so coming back is that one doesn't say that I am Sahajiya. That is already a clear indication, yeah, that he is an advanced devotee. Usually, one won't say that I am a gopi.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
in that way, we see that how a devotee, a devotee behaves, and irrespective, even if we see the Goswamis, yeah, they were still engaging very actively in service. We see so many examples where, for example, Loknath Goswami has said, or even Sanatan Goswami has said, Rupa Goswami, that you can't do this so that Radharani is coming personally and serving you. Hmm? So,
Yes,
uh,
Prabhuji. Yes.
so this mood, we can understand from the mood. It's not just because of, yeah. Sometimes we may have this emotional flush, yeah, flush out, yeah, of tears from our heart, from our. We feel something different we have never experienced, but we have to again immediately check: is this out of my um, speculation of something that, oh, this is bhakti? How do we know? Prabhupada said simply chant. Prabhupada says, no, when someone, Prabhupada, when I'm doing chanting, I'm tears roll from my eyes. What should I do? And Prabhupada said, just continue chanting. It's not that now you have become a great devotee, then you can do direct service. So when we carefully, for example, now I'm reading this Gaur Govind Maharaj book. Yeah, what is the symptoms of devotees is explained, but yeah, they keep it to themselves. It's not that okay, it becomes like okay, yeah. So these are disciples who see them, they get shocked. Hmm? but still they say don't share it with others. Why? Because people will think, this is how a great devotee will, and then start making big thing of it. They don't want followers. Yeah. To preach sincerely, to preach the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, already there's a lot of scriptures and evidences through which one can bring people closer to Krishna. So one don't have to exhibit his great symptoms. On that basis, preach. If someone is sharing them, yeah, what can we do? They could be like, okay, for example, yeah, I can also tell. Of course, this is also true. I was telling to Rupa yesterday evening that yesterday I had a dream that I was with my Guru Maharaj, yeah, where I was engaging in service for a very long time. Yeah, this can only make us feel happy that okay, Maharaj has come in the dream and has I could serve him. But in real ground, what did I serve? It was just a dream. Yeah. I should take it. Okay, I have to do this, make it real. Then actually, I'm actually advancing because I myself know how fallen I am. Just having dreams or having some emotional mm, unknown and great experiences, yeah, that should only help us that okay, Krishna, if you want you can give me all these experiences, but I still want to give you pleasure and engage in service. So it boils down to that point, that are we able to follow the sadhana so that we can engage ourselves in the service. Yeah. And we are talking about, if you are talking about that people are, I mean, I don't know about whom you are referring to, but if they are exalted devotees, yeah, like Madhavendra Puri, mm, following very very strict, yeah, we see all the acharyas, they are absorbed in remembering in the pastimes of Krishna, that they don't even care for food, not for a day, for many days. Omkareshwar Babu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you have given a very nice understanding about it. I'm really happy with this. Actually, now I can differentiate because those devotees, they are saying, yeah, we get Krishna in the dreams and he's eating with us. I see today my Laddu Gopal is smiling on me. And yesterday I could not change the dress. He was not happy with me. So now they are not doing any japa. They are not doing any sadhana, just yeah, appearing, such emotions are appearing and they are saying, expressing such emotions.
That can come when we observe ourselves. Yeah. So for example, when we remember more and more about something, and that is the last thing that we are remembering before we fall asleep, the probability is that we remember. Yeah. So one may develop a deeper attachment. Hmm? But then are they becoming pure devotees? That's the question. Yeah. So when we are absorbed in some thoughts more and more and more, this is what will pop up also in our dreams. Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
if a person is saying that he is missing, and yeah, sometimes this is, as I said, so they're absorbed. Yeah. And sometimes what can also be that they may have half. Yeah. Usually this happens for me. Dream, though in the dream I could remember everything. After waking up, in within no time I forget everything. But then when I'm telling someone, I might tell with vague. Yeah. So yeah, if someone is so lively remembering Krishna that they, yeah, we see that, right? So offering and but we also see how Krishna appears. Yeah, we see Lord Jagannath pastimes where the Lord appears in the dream, and how the Lord is activating them and inspiring them to engage in service only, right? After all, in the end, it is about service. Are we engaging ourselves in service?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, and Prabhuji, just to further, I have also seen dualities. Like like they are very, they are seeing all Bollywood movies, going to marriages, parties, dance, and they are also doing all these, and at the same time they are in spontaneous love with Krishna. If we say them, please attend some rather go to temple Vrindavan, they have no time, no holidays. But if there is a marriage, they have time, they have holidays for marriages, parties. And on the other hand, they are also devotees. That means it's not like they are we can judge them that's as a
Yeah, so that
yeah,
becomes a big problem. I
yeah.
mean, the problem is that we acknowledge our limitations, we acknowledge our shortfalls. But if we are not in a position to acknowledge them and then perform sadhana, then whatever all these realizations or all these things will start vanishing, and the more and more they see, they would only dream about some Bollywood and something. Mm. But I mean, nevertheless, yeah, so we still see them as devotees because if they have born in a Mathura or in Vrindavan, uh, or even if they have the culture from their parents, they have the, what do we call, this is what happens now usually from the parents, the Laddu Gopal is coming from generations. So in that way, if one is fortunate, he would have done service when his mind was normal, was settled before attraction, all these things. So he is still a devotee, but only thing is, as assuming all these things as real devotion, outcome of the devotion, and engaging in this kind of things or thoughts can only make them go their devotional path, yeah, kind of more bumpy rather than, yeah, proper. I think, I mean, I saw Apu Prabhu was there. I think he can also add. If you are there, Apu Prabhu. There was at the time you were saying, no, there were like 13 Sahajiyas or even more when Nityananda Prabhu has um, uh, or Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Nityananda Prabhu who has re-established again everything. No, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I think he's mm, not there. Oh,
Yes,
he's there.
Prabhuji. 13 Upper Sampradaya was there.
13 Upper
Actually,
Sampradayas.
it is not Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Before Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there was one more Acharya. I forgot actually name. He actually listed, I think, more than 22 before
22.
itself. Something like that before itself. But when Bhaktivinoda Thakur came at the time, so many was not there. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur again rescheduled. And I think 13 again, Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentioned that this 13 nowadays active and they are about to.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember one more thing, Omkareshwar Prabhu. It is said that in Kali Yuga, the demons are born in the form of this apasampradayas. Yeah, so they are part of this association or such kind of devotional things, but the focus is that they deviate and they themselves divert, first of all, and they deviate. Huh? So all this Upper Sampradaya, of course, I don't have any strength to really qualify something as Upper Sampradaya or not. But in the strength of Acharyas, what they have said, what is not, the symptoms of how one qualifies in the proper Sampradaya is very simple, sadhana bhakti. Yeah. And in that sadhana bhakti, how much are we attached? Even if you see in ISKCON, when we come to the second initiation level, we are already talking about so much attachment to Krishna that we are ready to forego anything else, prioritizing Krishna in the front. Mm. So all this includes in as part of the sadhana.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a good overview, good explanation. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, then we go to the next one. Who would like to read the next one? Third one.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Dan Keli Mataji, please. Yeah, you. Okay, you can see the screen. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry, Prabhuji.
Mhm.
Idit krutsvalīlāpi ānandakunde svagosham nimāchantam apyāpayantam tvādiyeshu tadveshu bhaktairvitatvam punah prema tattvam satam vritti vande.
Mhm. The translation number 3.
By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drawing the inhabitants of Gokul in pool of ecstasy and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of away and revenge. With great love, I again offer my obeisance to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times.
Thank you. Yeah. So this is again helping us, yeah, that it's not a one-time thing. That okay, if we pay obeisances once and then we can be engaged in ourselves. Here, Satyavrata Muni is saying 100 times I bow down before Lord Krishna. That shows how important it is. mm, this Atma Nivedanam. Yeah, what is that? It's when we are offering Pada Sevanam is okay, rendering service to the personality, but Atma Nivedanam is how we show is by paying obeisances. When we are paying obeisances, we are saying that I am your servant. And here Satyavata Muni is saying he is doing it hundreds and hundreds. And let me find that. 100 times I bow down before Lord Krishna, who with pastimes like these, what is he doing? Plunges his own cowherd village of Raja in a pool of ecstasy. So the Lord is uh, performing these pastimes for the pleasure of Rajavasis, for the people who are in Raj, and who declares to uh, who declares to them who know him only as a supreme master and controller. I am conquered by my loving devotees. In the commentary of Srila Sanatan Goswami, he is bringing up this 10th chapter, 11th, the childhood pastimes, and in that 7, 8. Here he says, what kind of the Lord here we see it's very, very amazing. That's why what is saying, Gopi bhi stobito nrityad. So gopis are saying, hey Krishna, dance. Bhagwan balavat kvachit is a child. Here he says that Gopi would say, if you dance, my dear Krishna, then I shall give you half a sweet meat, a sweet. By saying these words or by clapping their hands, all the gopis encourage Krishna in different ways. At such times, and then at such times, although he was the supreme, powerful personality of Godhead, he would smile and dance according to their desire, as if he were a wooden doll in their hands. Sometimes he would very loudly sing very loudly at their bidding. In this way, Krishna came completely under the control of the gopis. Why? Because what is that? Yeah, last time we were saying what is the currency they had, what is the treasure they had is love, unconditional love. The the mm, that was the only thing they had, and for that Krishna is ready, because by dancing, by putting bangles to the hands, dressing like gopi, and all these things. By that he is giving pleasure. That's how he want to. He says, "I'm so much indebted to your love. How can I repay? Just become a doll in your hands." Hmm. in control. And then Bibarti Kvachit Agnapatta Pita Konmana. That is the next verse. Bibarti Kvachit Agnapta Pita Konmana Padukam Bahukshepam Cha Kurute Swanam Cha Pritim Avahan. I'm looking for a purport. So sometimes Mother Yashoda and her gopis would tell Krishna, bring this article or bring that article. Here in this. Sometimes they would order him to bring a wooden plank, wooden shoes, or a wooden measuring pot. And Krishna, when thus ordered by the mothers, would try to bring them. Krishna is trying to bring them. The supreme powerful, all powerful, almighty, is just trying to bring a wooden plank or a wooden shoe. And then what Krishna is doing is also nice. Sometimes, however, as if unable to raise these things, what he do, he would touch them and stand there, as if he can't move it, so he's just standing there. And then just to invite the pleasure of his relatives, what he does, he'll just do tap his hands like this and shows that, yeah, no, I have sufficient strength. And then a little boy showing, and that makes the gopis very, very happy. And then after that, what is happening is that to pure devotees throughout the world who could understand his activities, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna exhibited how much he can be subdued by his devotees, his servants. In this way, he increased the pleasure of the Brajavasis by his childhood activities. So he is saying to that, I bow down to you. This is just 2-3 verses of his unlimited, innumerable childhood pastimes. And Satyavrata Muni is saying, I offer hundreds and hundreds of times I bow down. What is the word that is used in this? Yes. It is Rikspali Labir Ananda Kunde. Punah Prema. It is said, again I repeat, out of love. Punah, again and again. He's saying, again and again I offer my Shata, we know 100. Shata avriti, repetitions. Shata avriti vande. I offer my obeisance hundreds of times. So, then the next one. Someone? Sagar Prabhu. Fourth one.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
I asked Sagar. Sagar, if he can read.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Varam deva moksham na mokshavadим va na kanyam vrineham vareshadipya piha idante vapur nata gopala balam sadame manyasi avirastham khyam ani anayah.
Yeah.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life.
Oh, sorry. Can you read it if it is so small?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's Prabhuji. So, O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Balagopala in Vrindavana may ever be manifest in my heart, for what is the use to me of any other boon besides this?
Very nice. Yeah, thank you. So then, what is the motivation for us if we say that the spirit here is clear? What is that? Varam deva moksham na moksha vadimva. I don't want any liberation. Why? Because in the commentary, Srila Sanatan Goswami is saying the thing better than liberation here is residence in Vaikuntha Lok. Better than impersonal liberation is residence in Vaikuntha Lok, and then better than residence in Vaikuntha Lok is pure devotional service, which begins with hearing the glories of Lord Krishna. That pure devotional service is better than residence in Vaikuntha is described in the following words in reference of Bhagavatam 3:15:49. O Lord, we pray that you let us be born in an hellish condition of life, just as long as our hearts and minds are always engaged in the service of your lotus feet. Our words are made beautiful by speaking of your activities, just as tulsi leaves are beautified when offered unto your lotus feet, and as long as our ears are always filled with the chanting of your transcendental qualities. This is what Kumaras are praying. The four sages now offer their humility to the Supreme Lord because of their having been haughty in cursing two other devotees of the Lord. This is what is very, very, very careful we have to be in our engaging ourselves in the service. This is very, very important that we don't blaspheme other Vaishnavas because they have not done their service well, or we criticize or we find faults in others. This is what is very dangerous. In the purport, we see that Chatur Kumaras were cursing whom? Jaya and Vijaya. Yeah, but then after they came to the senses, they are saying that even if you put us in hell, that is okay now. Why? Jaya and Vijaya, two doorkeepers who checked them for entering the Vaikuntha planet, were certainly offenders, but as Vaishnavas, the four sages should not have cursed them in anger. So even if one is on at a mistake, or if has offended something, we have to consider them as Vaishnavas. As they are Vaishnavas, we shouldn't um, mm, engage in offending them or counter cursing or cursing. After the incident, they became conscious that they had done wrong by cursing the devotees of the Lord, and they prayed to the Lord that even in the hellish condition of life, their minds might not be distracted from the engagement of service. So sometimes when we are getting carried away by anger and illusion, we may do all these things, but our prayer is that, please Lord, help us that we remember you in all circumstances and don't get distracted. Those who are devotees of Lord are not afraid of any conditions of life, provided there is a constant engagement in the service of the Lord. This is said of Narayan Para, or those who are devotees of Narayan, the Supreme Lord. Na kutaschana bibhyati. Hmm. They are not afraid of entering a hellish condition, for since they are engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord, heaven or hell is the same for them. Once there was this one who is a um, worshipper of Lord Shiva, who has a temple, private temple, and then he came to me and amazed and said, "You know what? I learned something very new. I came to know that Vaishnavas, they don't even, I mean, we think that moksha is the ultimate. If we attain moksha, that is the ultimatum, and we are all working hard for attaining the abode of the Lord. But I see that from the scripture, that was the description from the Srimad Bhagavatam about Daksha Yajna. From that, after that, he was saying, amazing thing is that devotees don't even care if they are in hell or heaven. They just want to be engaging in service. What a high level of thinking. Hmm. Therefore, those who are engaged in service of the Lord see no distinction between hell and heaven, heaven and hell, and it is only the materialist who prefer one of the other. These four devotees prayed to the Lord that although they might go to hell because they have cursed devotees, they might not forget the service of the Lord. So, this is very, very, very important because we are not yet in a position to control our tongue, our mind, our senses, and can very easily offend others, knowingly, unknowingly. Huh? So daily in our prayers, if we can have this, that, oh Lord, wherever my destiny takes me, but please make sure that I can remember you at any moment, any life, any circumstance. The transcendental loving service of the Lord is performed in three ways: with the body, with the mind, and the words. Here the sages prayed that their words may always be engaged in glorifying the Lord. One may speak very nicely with ornamental language or may be expert at controlled grammatical presentation, but if one's words are not engaged in service of the Lord, they have no flavor and no actual use. The example is given here of tulsi leaf. The tulsi leaf is very useful even from the medicinal or antiseptic point of view. It is considered sacred and is offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. The tulsi leaf has numerous good qualities, but if it were not offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, tulsi could not be of much value or importance. Similarly, one may speak very nicely, but if they are not for the service of the Lord, they are useless. The holes of the ears are very small and can be filled with any insignificant sound. So how can we receive as great a vibration as glorification of Lord? The answer is that the holes of the ears are like the sky. As the sky can never be filled up, the quality of the ear is such that one may go on pouring in vibrations of various kinds, yet it is capable of receiving more and more vibrations. A devotee is not afraid of going to hell if he has opportunity to hear the glories of the Lord constantly. This is the advantage of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One may be put in any condition, but God gives him the prerogative to chant Hare Krishna. In any condition of life, if one goes on chanting, he will never be unhappy. Okay, so that is the reference, yeah, through which we see that uh, we, in whatever condition we are, we don't want moksha. What we understand, it's very important, is that what is the topmost than Vaikunta is engaging in the devotional service of the Lord. Varam Deva. So this is over. So next, number 5.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes, may I also read?
Yes, please.
Yes. Yeah. Edam te mukham bhojam atyant nilay pratam kuntalai snigdha raktasya gopya muhuschumbitam bimb raktadharam me manasya avirastam alam lakshalabhe.
Yeah. Yeah. Translation here.
Yes.
O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, triggered with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba
Fruit.
fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me.
Yeah. So thank you. This gives us uh, the beauty of the Lord, your face, which is kissed by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like Bimba. May this beautiful vision. So when we aspire for this darshan, and it is thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use in front of what? In front of the darshan. And commentary Srila Sanatan Goswami says, Lord Krishna's face is like a blossoming lotus flower. It is blissful, and the sight of it removes all suffering. Yeah, so this is a meditation at the form beauty of the Lord. Then next one, please. 6.
May I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Gaur Bhagwan Prabhu.
Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dupajalabdhimagnam Kripa Drishti Vrishyati Dinam Batanu Grihane Shamamagyam Drashya.
Okay. Translation.
O Supreme, O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me by showering your glance of mercy upon me. Deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrow and become visible to my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. So here, this is prayer about how great is the Supreme Lord. Uh, oh, Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu. And then, oh Master Prabhu, in the commentary it's mentioned. Here the author says he is so distressed that he is on the verge of death. He is like a living corpse. He says, please be kind to me. Please rescue me. Please restore my life. So here the word Prabhu, oh Master, means oh Master of great, inconceivable, limitless, wonderful potencies. This shows that the Lord's potencies cannot be understood by the material senses. The word Isa, O Master, O Supremely Independent One, this shows that the Lord can do as He likes, and therefore He can bestow His mercy even on a person who is not really worthy to receive it. The word Vishnu means O all pervading, or it also means O Lord who stays in Vrindavan. So here we see that um, when Satyavrata Muni is thinking like that, who are we? How fallen are we? So here we see that what is the worth? What is that we have done that we can demand or we can command the mercy of the Lord? Nothing. Nothing. This shows that the Lord can do as He likes, and that is the quality or uh, on which we are depending on. It is not that I have done something, then that attracts the mercy of the Lord. I have not done anything. But the Lord is uh, fully independent, Purna Purushottam. He can do anything at His sweet will. And with that, may He grant His mercy upon us. That is what is from here. Srila Sanatana Goswami refers. The next one, please. 7. Who is left? Apu Prabhu, you want to read 7th one?
Okay. কুবেরাত্মজো ভর্ধমূর্ধৈব যদ্বৎ তয়ামুচিতো ভক্তিবাজোপিত চ তথা প্রেম ভক্তিম সকামে প্রয়চ্ছ মুমুক্ষুব্রহ্মন্যস্তি দামোদরেহ.
Yeah.
The 7, O Lord Damodar, just as the sorry, it's too small.
Just are the two sons of
Just as the two sons of Kubera, Monigriv as the two sons of Kubera, Monigriv and Nalukuber were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great by devotees by you in your form.
sorry, as a baby, I
In your
think.
form as a baby.
Yeah. Which one was that? Sixth one, right? No,
Seventh.
7. As a baby.
As a baby, tied with rope to a wooden grinding motor. In the same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this, and have desire for any kind of,
And
and
have
have
no desire.
no desire for any kind of
Liberation.
liberation.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so as we know this pastime where it's not that Lord has got bound to the wooden motor to mm, to to bless Mother Yashoda in her attempt to tie him, but he also yeah, as a side uh, pastime, he also went through or between these trees and make them fall down and liberated. But then he didn't give liberation to this. Yeah, this liberation is also a sweet liberation, which is what he said to go and join. He said, go and find where Narada Muni and accept him as your spiritual master and practice prema bhakti. No, it is not that okay, now your problems are solved. Yeah, this is what when we go and approach the Lord, what we do is, oh Lord, I'm burning in the midst of all these problems of my material life, household life, or college life, or office life, wherever, all these lives, yeah, we are burning in that. And then once Krishna is giving everything, yeah, Krishna is saying, you are a student, you get good marks. Krishna is saying that, now you started job, he's giving good job and good family and everything. And then the more and more we are getting, then more and more we forget him. Oh, we have a gratitude. We feel, Lord, because of you only I am getting everything. I always feel about it, but I will not do anything about it. This is usually our attitude. Why? Because we are always looking what is next, but we are not looking what is present that we get. The present that we are getting every day, for which what are we doing? Hmm? That if we think we are more responsible to uh, try and attempt to repay what we are getting. Yeah, we are so much indebted to the Lord for what we are getting every day. Huh? Just imagine an unemployment, what do you call, a person who is really working very hard to find a job. He's going to the Lord and sitting on his knees and praying to the Lord with folded hands, please give me a job. It's enough. I think it's 3 months already, 4 months, 6 months, 10 months, whatever. I'm not able to get. Please, only you can give it. After giving, then he thinks, oh, thank you, God, because of you only I got. But what am I doing? Am I engaging in the service of the Lord? No? At least reciprocating that way? No. Next prayer comes because that's logical, that's obvious. What is the next prayer? My parents are looking for a good match. Let me have a wife who will obey me all the time. Isn't that nice prayer? Hmm? And then when, of course, if Lord is so merciful, he arranges, and then but then household life, okay, I have that responsibility, this responsibility, come on, I have to take care of my family, of my kids, and of that and this, so many things. And then whom are we keeping in the background? It is the Lord. By the time we realize uh, the the sweet 16 is gone, sweet 60 will come, because people also think, hey, 60 is the time where we retire, no responsibilities. 60 age is so nice, yeah, isn't it so great that no responsibilities and I can do whatever I want? But can I do what I want? Is my body permitting that? No. So here we don't want kind of that kind of cheap liberation from suffering. We want, yeah, this is what Satyavasa Muni is praying, that please bestow your pure bhakti. Yeah. I want bhakti in my heart for you. That is top priority for me. So please, please, please give me that. Hmm? not the mukti. Huh? What kind of mukti? Hmm? He wants it is prema bhakti, not mukti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. Anyone want to share anything or questions? Anyone want to ask before we go to the eighth one? Hmm. Maybe we had a cinema reel of our own life, na? How we have kept on thinking this is devotion, this is devotion. Yeah, but what is devotion is this. I don't want any relief. I only want uh, relief will come or not, I don't care. I want to only worship you. And now we appreciate the rope that has bound. So special. Who want to read this eighth one? Is someone left? Think everyone is covered. So I'll read this. नमस्तेस्तु दाम्ने स्फुरद्दीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायत विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीया प्रियाय नमो अनंताय लीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम. Now what are we praying? What is Satyavrata Muni is praying? We see. He's saying, "Oh Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly." Can anyone think of this? Huh? One may appreciate the flute of the Lord which he uses to mesmerize everyone. All the animals and birds and beasts every are amazed. Hmm? Um, Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra, his peacock feather. Have anyone thought that, okay, what is this rope? Isn't it amazing that Satyavrata Muni is offering obeisance to that rope? It's not that because, okay, Lord has become Damodar, that's why this Dam also has the power and value. Let me offer prayer. No. He says that this has bound. How amazing it is. Krishna is not to be caught at all, not to be bound at all, but this amazing rope could do it. What is so speciality about this rope? It is also mentioned that because it is spiritual. Let me first read the commentary. Here the word damne means the great rope that was tied around your belly. What was that rope like? It is described here as the abode of splendor. That means the rope was spiritual in nature. If the rope is not spiritual in nature, there is no question of Krishna being bound. Why? First of all, the Lord is not to be bound in that way, even if it was the case. When Krishna was pulling the wooden motor, the motor has come, and when this rope, when this motor has come between these two trees, and when Krishna is pulling, now we know how much strength that rope can have. Material rope can definitely, when Krishna, first of all, when Krishna is pulling, Krishna is unlimitedly powerful, so he can pull. But what about the rope? If rope doesn't has power, if it is not of spiritual nature, it would have simply broken before the trees fall. You know, right? Usually, when we try a rope to a tree, and if we pull, uh, which has more strength? It is the trees, not the rope. But because it's of spiritual nature, huh, that's why Krishna, when he pulled, then the trees fell down. That's the reason. This is not an ordinary rope that can tie Krishna. It should be definitely very special. So Satyavrata Muni is offering his obeisances. Next, the author says, obeisances to your belly. What is the Lord's belly like? It is the resting place of the universe, where the moving and unmoving beings live. This is so because from its sprouted the lotus flower, its sprouted the lotus flower belly is a resting place of, what is this prakata and no, what is it? Manifested and unmanifested universe. When universes during, we know this Brahma's day and night, when all this everything is resting, where it is resting inside this stomach, inside this belly. And we know that what is the proof? All coming from his belly. So Satyavrata Muni is offering his prayers there, and then um, actually no one has the power to tie up the Lord in that way, but out of love for his mother, Lord Krishna allowed her to tie him up. This is the prayer, and then finally he says, Shri Radha, Namo Radhikaye Tvadiyay Priyaye. He says, Radha is the most important of all the gopis. She is most dear to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes with Sri Radha have no end. Therefore, the Lord is described here as having pastimes that have no end. Namo Radhikaye Tvadiya Priyaye, and then Namo Ananta Leelaya. Oh Lord, you have unlimited leelas. And why? Because the leelas of Radha and Krishna, they never end. We know that uh, we come across this where even if Radharani is meeting Krishna, yeah, when the bindi is applied, this bindi is not ordinary. I hear from Maharaj saying that gopis come together and just to put a small tilak, they take hours together to decorate such a way that just by seeing that Krishna is mesmerized and Krishna is attracted, Krishna is captivated, uh, Krishna is controlled. So that way the leelas goes endless, and to those leelas, Satyavrata Muni is offering his obeisances. Yep, I'll stop here. But this is just some meditation that we can take from this prayers that Satyavrata Muni is offering, and this is found in Padma Puran. And as part of Kartik, every day we do read that, offer our prayers, and yeah, develop our taste. The song is sung during the month of Kartik, also known as month of Damodar, as quoted in Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas. In the month of Kartik, one should worship Lord Damodar and daily recite the prayers known as Damodarashtakam, which has been spoken by the sage Satyavrata and which attracts Lord Damodar. Thank you very much. This, if you want, I'll share this link later, and these are the purports. What we went through is very shortly and briefly, but these are the purports of each verse by Sanatan Goswami. Digdarshanitika, the commentaries on 8 sloka of Shri Damodarashtakam. Anything anyone want to share before we close the call? Anything to add?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, who was Satyavrata Muni? Can you maybe a little bit throw some light about him?
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I heard. Yeah, I had the same question in one of the Bhagavatam class. I heard, but I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
Does
Yes.
someone know? No, but that's good. Yeah.
I just know one Satyavrata who was Maharaj Satyavrata and become Vaivasvata Manu later on in Matsya Avatar Leela. This Manu was
I
earlier
know this is sung in
Satyavrata.
the yeah. I don't know if it is same person. Anyone who knows?
Prabhuji, I heard one lecture about this, the glories of Satyavrata Muni. The Satyavrata Muni, which is Omkareshwar Prabhu told, it was actually that one. That in the Matsyavatara case was the Satyavrata Muni. And he also the, I think, ancestor of the Vibhushan.
Vaivasvan?
Yes, he was also an ancestor of Vibhushan. Suryodev, which normally we tell that Acharya line.
Prabhuji, can you repeat, Prabhuji? Actually, I miss your voice in between.
He's also the ancestor of the Vibhushan. That we tell na, in the Gita that Gita Krishna first told to Vibhushan
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Ikshvaku.
he also in this dynasty actually. Shatavattam Muni.
Yeah. So he's
I'll
Manu then. Yeah.
I'll collect actually probably some points and then I will tell you because the lecture is in Bengali. Okay. The Shatavattam Muni. So I'll collect
Nice.
the point. But yes, it was written that yes, he's in the Mashabata time. He is the same Shatavattam Muni. And
Okay. Yeah.
and
So
because why he
Omkareshwar
wrote
Prabhu. It's,
why he wrote Damodar Brat also there is actually one pastime was there.
hmm.
That I can't remember exactly, but yeah, he had actually one boon. That's why he actually wrote that one. So I'll hear it again too, and I'll make some points.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I remember I was hearing one lecture by the Maharaj or the class when I was down in hotel, but I don't remember. Yeah, the references that you have. Okay. Okay. Any other questions or realizations to share? I think this is the last week of Damodar. I mean month, right? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I had a question about Yashoda Mata. You said that she was doing karma yoga. What was the boundary of karma yoga and bhakti yoga in her case?
She's actually talking about yoga, but what they're saying is karma yoga. So what will I get if I'm doing something? Yashoda was not thinking anything for herself. So that is what we call karma yoga. It's not that okay, she's engaging only in karma yoga and she has to elevate herself to other yogas. No, but as part of this, to understand what is that, in the bhakti yoga, karma yoga is always implicit. Yeah, when one is actively engaging, this is also what is called bhajana kriya. Means one is actively engaging in service, and that actively engaging in service for the pleasure of the Lord, which is a karma, right? Which is karma yoga.
Mhm. Okay.
Mhm.
And Prabhuji, one more question was this Yashoda Mataji was expansion of Aladini Shakti.
Mhm.
But does it mean that so she is separate soul, right? Or
No,
she is
Shakti is not a soul. So Shakti is that the Lord expands Himself in this form, and His energy expands also. Not only the Lord expands in the avatars, right? His Shakti also expands. So His primal Shakti, internal Shakti, which is Antaranga Shakti, mm, and in that there are again different levels or different uh, kinds of or categories of Shaktis. And in that Hladini Shakti is Srimati Radharani, and yeah, we see that this Radharani expands in the form of gopis and also manjaris to that extent, and to serve the Lord. And yeah, Yashoda here is, yeah, in the purport we came across where she is also mm, Nitya Siddhis,
Mhm,
eternally transcendental. Yeah, they are residents and serve the Lord always.
mhm. So Prabhuji, Nitya Siddhas are expansion somehow, or they are not separate souls?
Not everyone. Yeah. So Nitya Siddhas are pure devotees of the Lord, and some uh, do sadhana and then they come to the stage, and afterwards then they engage in the service of the Lord forever. They are And then there are Nitya Siddhas, that Lord in the spiritual world he is expanding himself, where we see, like for example, Krishna is expanding as Balaram. Yeah, uh, Krishna is receiving the service, Balaram is offering the service, and similarly, then there is this gopis of engaging in the pleasure of the Lord, and that's why it's the pleasure potency, the potency of the Lord,
Mhm.
just like
Okay.
Radharani. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mhm.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Actually, this is also a question which Ambika and me also had also in our mind, like because we hear many time like this Balaram expanded from Krishna, and then Balram expanded in Vrindavan, because before coming Krishna to Vrindavan, he prepared Vrindavan. So I have heard I have read in one of the Prabhupada books or somewhere I heard, I don't remember that Balrama expanded himself to create Vrindavan here on the earth.
Yeah.
Everything emanating in Vrindavan was expansion of Balarama. So and we also hear that many souls are expansion of Radharani, these Manjaris, and also many bhaktas who are serving Lord are expansion of Balarama, all these expansions. So finally, Prabhuji, I think it also goes somewhere in the direction of oneness, that we are all one with God. We are one with God because we are all expansions. Because these impersonalists then expand this further, that we are all expansions of the Lord only. It can go in that direction. So it's very confusing, these expansion theory.
I think Hariparshada Prabhu said very clearly, right? So that there cannot be such. There is always a distinction, and this distinction is coming because it's not that okay, we are also Shaktis of the Lord or we are also expansions of the Lord, but we are only part and parcel of the Lord. So we have our reason or our cause. Our cause is Krishna, and He created all the jivas, and the jivas will be there always, either in the spiritual world or the material world, but they're always there. So we are always distinct. We are always this, and just by engaging in the service doesn't mean that we are that Shaktis. We are
Yeah.
not all. Everyone is Shakti Avesh avatars.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhuji, even Narad Dev is also Jivatma. Yeah, Narad
yeah,
Narad
but
Muni. He's
empowered. That's why he is the Shakti Avesh avatar,
yeah. So that's why,
like
like, my
Vyasadev.
question is, if Yasoda Mata is a Ahlad, is an expansion or a soul? Maybe she's a soul, but only empowered soul. Uh,
No, I mean different. So they come on different category, and as with the reference we see that she is a Shakti uh, to please the Lord, all the gopis.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because sometimes it creates like, since there are so many expansions of the god, like from Balarama, Anuruddha, and all these Vasudev, and then further expansion and further expansion, and maybe then sometime it seems that we are all expansions of the Lord. Yeah, with this.
Yeah, and then there is this voice is breaking, but I think I remember same thing from the Harish Parshad Prabhu. Some consider Lakshmi Devi as part of associate of the Lord. Some consider her as Jivat.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes, I
Yeah.
remember.
So there is, and further refining
Yes.
through which we see that okay, Lakshmi the expansion in the form of Ashtasakhi, yeah, also expansion in the form of primal the Ishita, not expansion of other. So That is the understanding. Not only Jiva, but she is also Shakti, expansion.
Yes.
Yeah. So that way we understand the eternal associates, and the Lord is, I mean, expanding, and also, so one is offering service, one is seeking service, and all. Yeah, this is still coming out from Krishna, because Krishna is cause of all causes. It doesn't mean that we all go back into Him. Oneness means there is only one thing, and something came out, and then they'll go back in it. No. Yeah. So some are created such a way that they can constantly always engage in His service. So different types of Atmas, Jivatma.
Yes. Prabhuji,
Yeah.
this impersonalist always describe the Bhagavad Gita like Krishna is in form of Arjun sitting. Krishna is also Duryodhan. So Duryodhan is also Krishna. Arjun is also Krishna. They are just doing a leela. So he said, "I'm in Duryodhan. I'm in Arjun." So somehow this can create a confusion. Also, this expansion. Uh,
Mm. Yeah. Let's save ourselves from that confusion. Yeah. By understanding it as it is, as how the devotees say. Yeah. Okay. Then thank you very much, and yeah, really sorry for missing few minutes in the start of the session, but I hope that we could cover something useful later. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
हरे
Prabhuji. Thank
कृष्ण। I'm not so good at you stop sharing, then I